Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, please, down. Secretary Marwa, Secretary Laila de Lima, Secretary Edwin Lacerda, Senator Pablo Lacson, Architect Kakwen Chua, Consul General Shen Chi Cheng, Mayor Alfredo Lim, Commissioner Kim Menares, Mr. Washington Sisip, Honorable Miguel Perez Rubio, officers and members of the Movement for Restoration of Peace and Order, fellow workers of government, honored guests. You might think I forgot Tese Angsi. Actually, when I saw that there was a request from Tese Angsi, as is my wont, I said yes before looking at the details of what she wanted me to do. Okay. The reason, this is not by way of apology of the statistics that I have to say in my speech, which you might not agree with, but Tese Angsi represents to me some of the best traits of the Filipino and the Filipino woman at that. No? I liken her to my mother. No? My mother was a housewife. She could have just said, we've sacrificed enough, we've done our part, now please leave us alone. But she took the cudgels left by my father, continued the fight, and we restored democracy. Tese Angsi is of the same caliber, on the same feather. Again, she could have opted not to adopt all of the problems or face the same dangers, and in fact, a lot of times face more dangers than even the kidnapped victims themselves in trying to put an end to really this nefarious situation. But she chose, and I have to emphasize the word chose. She chose to do something about the situation that she saw was wrong, and she has contributed tremendously to solving this problem that plagues our country. I think she deserves another round of applause. Ma'am Tessie, hindi naman sa sip-sip, pero pag nakita ko yung pangalan nyo, kailangan yes kaagad ang sagot. In 2003, the Movement for Restoration of Peace and Order was organized to provide support to families who, like its members, were victimized by kidnap for ransom groups. The efforts have aided numerous families to overcome these traumatic events and brought home the message that all must stand together in facing and handling these crimes. And I am deeply honored to be with you on the occasion of your 20th anniversary. One can't help but hope that sometime in the future we will be gathering not for active cases, but just to remember that once upon a time we did have to stand together in this manner to solve a problem. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, this will be a memory, bad memory of that, but a memory also of the strength of our people. Today's gathering is marked by our determination to transform the circumstances that caused our tragedies into opportunities to empower and help our countrymen. Though the circumstances may have been different, I also know what it is like to be separated from a loved one. In those dark days, my mother, sisters, and I often wondered if we would ever see my father again. This experience instilled in my family a reverence for justice and the importance of it being available to all Filipinos. This is not very different from what you are doing, and your efforts to fight crime and to ensure that justice is obtained for victims have not gone unnoticed. On this occasion, allow me to share with you the progress in our mutual efforts. There has been a recorded 30% decrease in crime volume for the entire country from 2011 to 2012. Kidnap for ransom cases, I am told, have declined from 25 cases in 2011 to 11 cases in 2012. There has been an even greater decline over the years. In 2009, cases perpetrated by organized crime groups stood at 35. This has gone down to 21 in 2010, 11 in 2011, and I'm told 6 cases last year. This same decline has been seen in kidnap for ransom cases perpetrated by terrorist groups, with only 5 recorded cases in 2012, down from 25 in 2009. Specifically, in Mindanao, kidnap for ransom cases have declined to only 5 incidents in 2012 compared to 10 incidents in 2011 due to proactive efforts to promote community awareness and cooperation. The Anti-Kidnapping Group, or the AKG of the Philippine National Police, has arrested 29 personalities involved in kidnapping cases in the previous year, all of whom have been charged for their crimes. The AKG also continues to work towards preventing and solving kidnapping cases through a three-pronged strategy that involves intelligence gathering and sharing, conducting community awareness campaigns, tactical and strategic management of incidents, and the enhancement of investigation capabilities. At this point, let me thank you for your cooperation in working with our police, which I am certain has contributed to the success of their operations. Police presence across the archipelago is being intensified, whether in support of communities, tourism, or other interventions to fight and prevent crime. Through the Police Niyo Po sa Barangay or PSB, 31,596 of our policemen have been deployed to supervise almost 40,000 barangays nationwide. 1,715 policemen are also manning tourism assistance centers and desks all over the country. I have likewise tasked the Department of the Interior and Local Government under Secretary Marroas to step up its campaign against loose firearms. The issue of loose firearms is an important component of our fight against criminality, not only because we want safe and peaceful elections in 2013, but for greater peace and order in our communities. The PNP is already conducting stringent operations against private armed groups. So far, we have in our custody a recovered total of 249 firearms, and more than 100 individuals belonging to these armed groups are now in jail. And the effort is still ongoing. Complementary to this is Oplan Katok, which involves our policemen visiting houses of identified holders of expired firearms licenses with the goal of having these licenses renewed or the firearms surrendered. More than 25,000 house visitations have already been conducted, and all PNP regional directors have been ordered to complete visitations in their areas of responsibility, I am told, by this very Saturday. While it is important for all to acknowledge that great strides have been made in suppressing criminality in our country, I will also be the first to admit that much work remains to be done. For instance, despite the increase in overall crime incidents, crime volume in Metro Manila has increased from 2011 to 2012. Likewise, recent events, instances of violence and recklessness when it comes to the use of firearms, push the government to work even harder when it comes to keeping our cities and barangays free from crime. May we just note that the increase in crime volume reported for the National Capital Region is the result of a new method to more precisely capture the crime incidents. No. So there's a change in reportorial requirements that brought about the increase. We have seen a revival in discussions on gun control, which largely revolve around new legislation on firearms, with some sectors advocating a total gun ban. This public clamor only deepens the necessity of discernment to determine if this will be the solution to the issue. Is the problem about licensed gun owners or lawless elements? Will a total gun ban really deter kidnappers, murderers, and robbers, and terrorists from committing their crimes? Is it a question of passing new legislation or of more strictly implementing existing laws? We are looking for solutions that are strategic, rational, and effective. In the national discussion that is taking place today, your perspectives are more than welcome. After all, your movement was founded on the basic premise that law enforcement officials and the citizenry must empower each other, that both the private and public spheres must take active roles in keeping our communities safe and peaceful. Not content to wait for the results of what was once an unwieldy justice system, you became a group that has not only heightened public vigilance and raised awareness, but has worked with government to obtain justice for victims. I wish you even more success in your advocacy over the next 20 years and beyond. Hopefully, there will not be a call for more of your advocacy. We in the national government are on your side. Today, as both government and the private sector reaffirm their pact to combat criminality, you can be assured that we will continue to engage the Filipino people in the search for true and carefully thought out solutions, that we share your commitment to foster greater peace and order in the Philippines and to achieve justice and for all. And in closing, You trusted government to do right by you. We in government pledge to be worthy of your trust. Good day and thank you.